I really like these ball bearing full extension drawer runners where they double in length, so the drawer will come a long way out. And they're not as expensive as they used to be. Those are £10 a pair. But these ones are roughly half the price, and I've got a trick for making your drawer go the whole way out with these cheaper ones. So this is just used in the workshop. So it's an old drawer box, but it does come all the way out so I can reach the back, and it's pulled all the way out from underneath. These runners have the advantage that you can take the drawer in and out really easily, much more easily than the ball bearing types. Now, how have I achieved that, and what's the trade-off? Now, the trade-off is that the bench is much deeper than the drawer. So, the drawer stops here, but the rail finishes all the way over here. And you can kind of see it here, where the rail is sticking out the back. So if you've got that extra space, you can have full extension for a shorter drawer. In effect, you're losing, I could have had a much deeper drawer, but these drawer boxes came to me for free. The rails I had already, so I'm making the most of stuff I just happen to have lying around, really. So this is a scrap wood project. In terms of construction, I always find it easier to make things on the bench and then install it. So in effect, I've made a complete drawer unit that I'm going to screw underneath. So I've got a couple of screw holes here, a couple of screw holes here, put some little brackets in. You've got to be within a couple of millimetres for width, so there's a little bit of wiggle room there. So I cut that to the width, and then I've got one at the back that's the same width. And I've used pocket hole screws, but it could have screwed in from the side or any other construction. But that didn't take 10 minutes to put together, and hopefully I'll have many years of use for some free drawer boxes and runners. Underneath there is a workbench, storage area at the moment. It's evolved over time. So it started with a couple of filing cabinets and a bit of wood across the top. But that used to be very noisy when I'd bang on the bench. So it then got these legs, beams across, so the filing cabinet is underneath it. This little filing cabinet came to me sometime after. It's standing on little legs under the bench, and then this is where the new drawer goes, above my vacuum cleaner extractor. And then there are some little white plastic brackets to join the side to the beams that go underneath the bench. So that's ready to go after much lying flat on my back. And here we are all done. So there's a couple of screws up into here on that cross piece, and because of that I lose a bit of height that I could have had. What I've got in it is all of my vacuum accessories, because under here lives the vacuum cleaner, which I can run manually, but also it turns on when I turn tools on. So I can have that as a power tool extractor. The other thing to say is the drawer, when it was in the kitchen, had that front on it that was a little bit wider. But it's just a simple workshop thing, so I took that off, sanded that front edge a little bit. For no money and not much time, I'm very pleased. So just for completeness, this is what I've got plugged into the other end. So currently that's on a fret saw, but that could be a planer or a router or whatever else I plug in there on the bench. Naturally, I can just take this outside and use it as intended, but that's how I've got it in the workshop.